Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel for another player ratings, West Ham versus Tottenham. So if you do enjoy this video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you're new around here, and be sure to comment down below your player ratings. Do want to discuss the Nuno situation, and I guess you could call them Nuno outers. Don't know why I did that because they are, Nuno outers. And I didn't know whether to do like a whole separate video to the Nuno situation and then, player ratings as normal, or, just combine both. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to include the Nuno situation in this video. That's going to be first, and then the player ratings will come afterwards. So I guess number one is probably, I don't even know. So this is like, I'm kind of just trying to guess what their problem could be with Nuno is. Maybe lack of shots, lack of creating chances, what else? Maybe because we've lost all our London derbies so far, maybe that's another one. Maybe the style of play, maybe that's another one. Not really like our, I don't want to say this, I don't want to say it, but DNA. So that's just a list of things that probably, get people's back up about Nuno. Now, I'm not an overreactor. Like, I don't watch a game and then afterwards, I'm straight on Twitter, blah, 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 overreact to him. Like some fans do. I wasn't gonna say most, but some fans. And, I try and ignore it most of the time. But sometimes when they just say something so ridiculous, you're just like, what are you even talking about? So I do reply a bit, I do. And then today, I saw stuff at work and I was just like, you know what? I can't even be asked anymore. I just can't. So I'm not going to be replying to any more tweets. No. I have my opinion, they're theirs. And if they want Nuno out, that's their opinion, that's whatever. And I'm not a Nuno outer, I just don't see, I don't see the point in hiring Nuno, and after 9 games, you want to get rid of him. I just don't see that. Let's just compare it to the Man United situation, okay? Ollie's been in charge. This is his 3rd season in charge, so I can understand Man United fans wanting Ollie out because he's been there 3 seasons and nothing has really improved, nothing has really changed, and they're going backwards, they're getting worse, okay? And now, with the Tottenham situation, things haven't been the same since Poch, left. We had Mourinho, we had that sort of managerial bounce, and we were good, we were really good for parts of his managerial time. We were never good for the whole thing, and I was never Mourinho out either, to be fair, I wasn't, because I think some Spurs fans have forgotten who the real problem is. And they're stuck. What I kept seeing was Nuno is the problem and Kane is the problem. That's the only 2 people are seeing that their anger is directed at, okay? So I do feel like some Spurs fans have forgotten who the real problem is, and it's not the players, it's not the manager, it is the board, Daniel Levy. Those are the real problem at this football club. It's not managers, they're not the problem, the board is. And unless the board, changes, we get a new chairman in or whatever, nothing is going to be different, okay? So we've got a director of football now, so he's sort of in charge of football things, so we're signing some players and whatever. But genuinely, I do not believe Daniel Levy will probably ever fully let go of the money sort of thing. He's still, in the background, he's still going to be dictating whoever the manager is, whether it's Nuno, whether it's someone completely different, and the director of football is, he's always going to be behind the scenes. So I don't understand, people would rather have Ryan Mason in charge. Now, this is not me digging at Ryan Mason because I like Ryan Mason. I just think he's probably too inexperienced right now to be manager, let alone interim manager. So some Spurs fans want Ryan Mason instead of Nuno. But the whole, I don't get that, because one, you've got an experienced manager who managed Wolves, he got into Europa League, and another one was only in charge for a few games at the end of last season, and we ended up in, was it 7th place? So I don't understand what's going to change with Ryan Mason. What's going to, like, is anything going to improve much with Ryan Mason? I don't think so. So why would you want to remove an experienced manager to bring an interim inexperienced manager? And another thing with the manager, like wanting Nuno out, who is your replacement? Who are you going to put in charge instead? Because we're at the start of the season, you know, it's only 9 games in, it's not like too far. We've still got majority of the season left. But if you say Nuno gets sacked, let's just say after the Burnley game, who is going to come in? Like, who realistically is going to come in? Conte is not a realistic option. He's not. Okay, because he's already said we're not ambitious enough. So him, no. So who else is there? Like, I can't think of anyone who is literally who's gonna come in and gonna get us where we want to be this season. Like, no, that's not gonna happen. So why don't you just stick with Nuno and just give him time? Because he's only managed Tottenham for 9 games. And yes, there have been poor results. Yes, you know, some of the games that have happened are not acceptable. But you always seem to be on Nuno's case, or Harry Kane's, or both. But no other players get mentioned, none of them. You never speak about the players and their performance, you only speak about the manager. So yes, the manager takes some responsibility for that result, whatever. But so do the players. Okay, so all this scapegoating Kane or blaming Nuno for like the whole, like, just everything, it's not really, like, it just doesn't make sense. And I feel like people just overreact so much, and it's just, I feel like they overreact because the team we're playing, it's worse than losing 1-0 to like a, I don't know, like a Burnley or like a, who else? I can't think at the moment. But I get it. Like, am I disappointed? Yes. Is it frustrating? Yes. But I'm not gonna, you know, lose my head over a 1-0 loss. Because what's that gonna do? I lose my head. I start shouting, you know, ranting and raving about Nuno. Like, what's that gonna do? Is that gonna get Nuno sacked? No, it's not. Because the only people who could like sack Nuno is Daniel leaving the board. So you say Nuno out doesn't mean Nuno is going to get the sack, okay? So you can say Nuno out, you can shout it, you can tweet about it, you can do whatever you like. But unless Daniel Levy and the board sack Nuno, then it's not happening. So I don't see why you're wasting your energy and time by saying Nuno out. So I do think some of it, like, I understand the concerns, like, obviously because we're Tottenham and things didn't work out with Mourinho and things are not, you know, that great right now under Nuno. So I get it. But, you know, it's like, if all these things have happened under Mourinho, like the back end of Poch, even when like Ryan Mason, the performances weren't exactly like great, and the same thing's happening to Nuno, what do you think is going to change under a new manager? Because you can't keep sacking managers, because it's not always just the manager's a problem. So you can't keep sacking them, because that, like, what are you going to do next? A new manager comes in, the exact same thing's happening again. What are you going to do? Oh, I can't even think of a manager that will potentially come in. Let's just say Conte did come in. Let's just say that Conte did come in, and the same thing was happening again. Would you be Conte out? Would you be Conte out? Because you can't keep getting new managers and just wanting them out instantly. It just doesn't work like that, and it's just not realistic. Like, why would you hire someone just to sack them within like 2-3 months of the season starting? Yeah. And like, that's your opinion, you want Nuno out, whatever. But it's like, there's just so many agendas. There is just so many agendas that it's hard to keep up sometimes, you know, it's hard to keep up. There was something else that I wanted to say, but now I've forgotten what I was going to say. Oh yeah, another thing. It's kind of funny, you know, because normally Dyer, let's just, because Dyer, you know, he actually had a pretty good game yesterday. Normally he gets scapegoated quite a lot. Even when he doesn't play, people like, you know, like to give him like a 0 rating, or like to, you know, send, just speak crap about him. But funny enough, yesterday I did not see anything about Dyer. The only things that I saw was Nuno and Kane. That was it. And I'm just like, are you alright? Because there's 10 other players on the pitch, and you're blaming Kane for us losing because of what? And we'll get into like his performance and that, like, when I do his rating, but Kane's not the reason why we lost, okay? And you can mention the bleed corner where he didn't really react. You can, you know, why don't you mention Regular making that mistake beforehand, you know? It's not just down to Kane as to why we lost that game. And the game was a tight game. It was either going to end up a draw, or, you know, it could have gone either way. And it was only like a 1-0 loss. So it's not like we performed terribly. But, you know, I just don't understand. Like, I get what Kane did in the summer. Okay, I get that. But it's not like he hasn't tried, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's gonna waste his time left to be petty and to not perform as he should. And I don't think that it's not that he doesn't care. Maybe his commitment isn't at 100% because he didn't really probably didn't think he was going to be here this season. So it's gonna, you know, and it just happens. I think, I know people say, oh, he's fallen out of love with the club. I don't think he's fallen out with the club. I just think he doesn't really want to play here anymore. And it's hard to give your 100% when you realistically would rather be somewhere else. But would him purposely playing badly, purposefully being petty, would that get him anywhere? Because I don't think it would, to be honest. I think if he was purposely trying to play badly, what team is going to want him in, like, what team is going to come in for him in, like, a transfer window? No one. If he's not scoring goals, if he's not performing that well, no other team is going to want him. So why would he put him at why would he put himself at a disservice just to be stuck here even longer? Do you know what I mean? So I think people need to calm down about the whole, oh, Kane doesn't really care, oh, he's doing this, he's doing that, because no one had a great game. I mean, Dyer and probably, like, the defence was pretty good yesterday, but no one was like outstanding. So I think for you to be like, oh, Kane is doing this because he wants to leave and he's trying to, you know, I don't know. I don't even know what they're trying to think that Kane's doing. And it's like, why? It's funny because yesterday, I was going to mention this because it was just a weird situation. But anyways, I was on Twitter, as I always, you know, I always do, like, after a game, see what people, you know, saying and stuff. And people just, you know, like to just send crap Kane's way. And, you know, I'm just thinking, you're scapegoating Kane. Why are you doing that? But basically, they just, you know, they call Kane a snake. And I'm just thinking, okay, so you're calling Kane a snake, so next time he scores, don't celebrate. You know, don't celebrate, because why would you celebrate someone who you're calling a snake? And I get it, he's playing for the team that you support. But why would you celebrate it if he's a snake? Why? You wouldn't want him to score, would you? You wouldn't want him to score. So why would you celebrate him scoring if he's a snake, if he's all these things, and you don't feel the same way you did about him before? Why are you doing all these things? Like, why would you be happy that he scored? And, you know, don't celebrate it, because that's just, like, honestly, that's just been, like, kind of been a bit fake, because you're celebrating a goal from someone that you don't want to score, you don't really like anymore, and you consider him, you know, a snake. So why would you celebrate him when he's being good? But it is kind of funny because it was like, oh, so you'll support Kane when he's in the, like, the good times, but when he's, like, doesn't have a great performance, you're gonna scapegoat him. You're gonna, like, send hate, well, not hate him, but you're gonna diss him on Twitter. You're gonna do all these things. You're changing up quite quickly, and this was obviously going to happen. People were obviously going to react this way. It's just ridiculous, though. Like, don't get me wrong, Did I start to lose a bit of respect for Kane when he did miss training? Yes. Am I going to hold a grudge over that for the entire season? No, I'm not going to do that. Because why am I going to hold a grudge against someone that I don't even know him? So why are you going to hold a grudge? I'm not gonna sit there and do that. Like, have I forgiven him for it? Maybe, I don't know. But I'm not gonna sit here and every time he has a bad performance bring it up for no reason. Because him having a bad game probably has nothing to do with the fact that he missed training however many times it was. Twice, whenever. So I don't think him having a bad performance, like some people did yesterday, is a reason to be like, oh, he's a snake. That's, you know, and it just doesn't make sense. Anyways, those are just my opinions. Now we should probably get into the play ratings. So Lloris, I gave a 7 because well, it didn't really have much to do. Couldn't do anything about the goal that was conceded. His I can't say that word, honestly. Distribution was alright. Sometimes players couldn't really, you know, control the ball and it went out of play. So that kind of let him down. His kicking, you know, and whatever was not at his best. But, you know, he made some saves. You know, he was pretty solid. And the goal was just unlucky for him that he couldn't save it. So I think Lloris had a good game yesterday. He wasn't the worst player on the pitch, but he wasn't one of the best. But there wasn't really anything he could do about the goal. So, you know, 7, standard. So Reguilón, he didn't make that mistake leading up to the goal we conceded from that corner. I think that was pretty much his only mistake of the entire game. You know, he was putting some crosses in. He put a cross in for Kane, which Kane got to and he headed, but it was straight at the goalkeeper. So I think Reguilón, you know, he did this defensive work, that one mistake which led to us conceding a goal. But other than that, he was pretty solid, you know, defending well, got forward quite a lot, was involved in attacks. The only thing that I would mention with Reguilón is his passing. The passing was pretty bad from the whole team at times. Probably most of the game the passing just wasn't there for whatever reason. I don't know what that reason is. But there was quite a few times where someone would overhit a pass or Reguilón would, you know, get the ball but he couldn't really control it, so went and play for a West Ham throw-in. But, you know, pretty standard from Reguilón as well. Moving into Romero, I gave Romero an 8. I do think he had a pretty good game yesterday. Other than those 2 times he got beaten by Antonio, he handled him pretty well. You know, he snuffed out a lot of chances from him. And I think he, you know, some people like to say that Romero got bullied by him, even though he only got beaten twice. And the whole other time, he defended well against him. So make of that what you will. But I thought Romero was pretty impressive and definitely our best centre-back. Like, there's no doubt about that. And there were times he was carrying the ball forward into midfield, which I really, really like to see. Solid. And didn't deserve to be on the losing side. And Dyer as well. I also gave him an 8. I think he was probably one of the best players on the pitch yesterday. He defended really, really well. He couldn't have done anything about the goal. He couldn't, you know. He was blocking shots, you know, he was clearances and all that stuff. And yeah, Dyer was pretty solid yesterday, and I don't really think he didn't even make any mistakes. So with Dyer, an 8. Emerson, I'm also giving a 7. I do think his defending wasn't the great at times. He did sort of get beaten a few times. But I do think he's improving quite a lot in the right back position. He did get forward sometimes. Put a few crosses in here and there. We do need to see a lot more from him a lot more going forward. I do think that if we could have both Reguilón and Emerson getting forward at times, putting in crosses, that could definitely help us create more chances throughout the game. Moving to Skip, I also give Skip a 7. He defended quite well. You know, he was winning the ball back quite a lot. He nearly got a goal as well, but the shot, I think, it either got blocked or it went wide. It was getting quite forward. It was getting more forward in the second half. And I do think the start of the second half was really, really good, and we were the team that looked most like scoring throughout the entire game. I also gave Hobby 7 as well. I do think both of them defended quite well. They helped control the game, helped us keep possession, and do you think that we were unlucky yesterday considering the amount of possession we had, especially away from home, because usually we're not really a possession type team like under Mourinho, but now we sort of keep more possession. We just need to create more things going forward, pass the ball forward more often instead of going sideways and backward, and you know, we should create more chances. I do think we're maybe missing someone in the middle to create more things, but that can be sorted. Moving into Ndombele, I gave Ndombele 6. There were a few good moments in there from Ndombele. Obviously, he put that through ball in for Son, who potentially should have scored with that shot. But, you know, he was getting some through balls. Obviously, some of them were getting cut out by West Ham defence. But, you know, he was trying to create things. And I do think somewhat he was probably another one. His performance wasn't as good as it was against Newcastle. But I do think everyone's performances kind of dropped slightly. So I can't just put blame on Ndombele for us not scoring a goal. The passing was just a big issue. Sometimes it would work out and just most of the time it just wouldn't. So I do think the passing needs to be better, obviously. Mora, I also gave him a 6. Well, I noticed he was dribbling with the ball quite a lot. You know, he's getting fouled. We do need to see a bit more with Mora. You know, it's hard because he always puts 100% effort in. So a 6 is what I had to give him, but I do think that same with Ndombele, there was effort in there. I don't think there's a lack of effort from Mora. You know, because you always get 100% from him, and we just need to see a bit more end product with Mora. I do think that's been an issue since he's been here, but I have faith in him. You know, there's faith. Sonny, I gave Son a 5. The set pieces we had, his corners, the ball was just wasn't there yesterday. Couldn't beat the first man. That was disappointing. You know, he could have got a goal with that shot he had. I do think there was another chance where Romero could have played Son in, but he played Kane instead. That maybe if he played Son in, he might have had a better chance of scoring. But with Son, you know, he was trying. It wasn't his best performance. You know, the quality was lacking from the team. And going forward, we just struggled. And I do think West Ham defended really well. After they got that goal, you know, they sat back behind the ball. And we couldn't really find an opening to try and create something to get a goal back. He was trying, it's just the quality was lacking. The passing, again, the passing from everyone wasn't great. Player of the starting 11, Kane. I also gave Kane a 5. Now let's just mention the goal, okay? So obviously Reguilon made that mistake. He won the ball back and then he lost it. I don't even know what he's trying to do, but he lost the ball, which led to the corner. Now Kane was marking Antonio for that corner. The ball gets played in, beats Mora. He jumps up, completely over his head, comes down, and it goes to Antonio, who, you know, quick reaction, pass it into the goal. Kane, not really a reaction whatsoever. He just stood there. Is that a problem? Yeah, you know, you would probably expect some sort of kind of movement from him. Unless it was like a lack of concentration, I don't know. But that was obviously Kane's mistake. So you can blame him for that. The only thing that I don't agree with is blaming him for the whole game. Because Kane's not the reason why we lost. The reason why we lost is because we couldn't create enough chances to at least get a goal, okay? So I don't think you can just blame that one moment on Kane. You can blame Reguilon for the build up to that corner. You can blame the whole team for the entire performance. But with Kane, you know, he did have a few chances. It's not like he wasn't trying. He could have scored if he headed it down instead of doing what he did. But I don't think there's a lack of effort. And you can say that he was lazy. You can say all these things. I just don't think that you can just, you know, put all the blame on Kane for this performance. That is my play ratings. Obviously, Hill, Lo Celso came on around 82 minutes. Even though Nuno did want to bring on earlier, but it took a while for the ball to go to play. So there we go. So I'm not going to give him a rating. Also, Bergwijn came on around the 90th minute. So I'm not going to give him a rating anyway, because I didn't really have that much time to make any impacts. And, you know, we were trying to create some things. Basically had the whole possession for that like last 10-15 minutes. So, you know, there's not really much we could have done. Now moving on to Nuno. I gave Nuno a 5. I think the starting lineup was right. I don't think there should have been any changes into that starting lineup. I think that the players who performed against Vitesse, who started, they didn't really earn the right to start this game. So the starting line was right. The sub situation, I do think that there was no reason. Well, we could have made subs, but it wasn't like we were really under pressure. We controlled most of the game and most of the possession. West Ham did have more shots than us, but we had the same amount of shots on target. Obviously, they got the goal which won the game, but the subs thing, they didn't make any subs. We didn't make any subs, and they ended up scoring from a lucky corner. So I don't think there wasn't much in the game itself. It could have gone either way. Obviously, things do need to improve. Set pieces still an issue at the moment. That's how we concede most of our goals. So set pieces needs to get better, a lot better, anyways. And I do think our defending was defended quite well yesterday. Obviously the attack, we need to create more chances, try and get more shots on goal throughout the entire 90 minutes. Obviously it's not great having no shots on goal for the second half, but obviously these are things that we need to improve on, and we already knew this. We knew coming into the season it was going to be difficult, it was going to be hard. No one wanted Nuno in the first place. Daniel Levy probably didn't even want Nuno in the first place. So it was probably far down on our like managerial list. So obviously it's going to be a difficult season. It's a rebuilding process. It's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows all the time. Like, there's been a few good games in here and there, a bit up and down. But that's to be expected. Like I didn't expect us to win every single game. And obviously the performances need to improve. We need to get, you know, passing, getting more chances. But anyways, that is my play ratings and my opinion on the new situation, the whole game. Do hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you agree with my play ratings, and if not, let me know what your play ratings are. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Predicted lineup for the Burnley game was a Carabao Cup, so I'm looking forward to that game. Most Spurs fans probably are not, but I am. I always enjoy when Spurs play, even though it does give me a headache most of the time. But you know, I predicted lineup and my haul. It is coming. It's just taking a bit of time. I've kind of been busy with other videos, but also look out for Wednesday at 5 PM on my second channel, S Reacts, which is always linked down below for a new reaction. And I will see you guys very, very soon tomorrow with a brand new video. Bye guys.